so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you.
People hear and say that they said so. They wake up and they cook up one story. How long will you continue to do that? And stay, people are listening to them. Look at Master Simon Ekpa. Why don't you learn from him? Master Simon Ekpa is fighting for Biafra. And the only things you hear from him is how he interacts with the international communities about Biafra. The conferences he's planning to hold, the offices he has been going to, how he has made the government of his own country to know about Biafra and speak about Biafra. Attending conferences on the name of Biafra. He has gone to the state of activating so many things that Mazen Nane cannot put in place that we are dormant all this while because of still the same enemy. Those same enemy who we are making Mazen Nane they cannot move forward. So many of those strategies today, Mazen Simon Ekpa is activating them one after the other. And one of those he has activated is the Biafra government in exile, fully activated. And you know this time we're going to have a liaison office in so many countries. Starting from the United States, already have seen United States office. In the same manner, we're going to open so many liaison offices in different countries that will handle the issue of Biafra. These are things that have been done in this era. It is no longer just talking and broadcasting and making noise. So many of them who are talking about Biafra today, they are just online. They only come to Radio Biafra and they make noise and shout. Radio Biafra that Mazen Nane can use to awaken people. A place that we worship today, they have defiled it. They have defiled Radio Biafra today, and that today it has lost its value. What they do there is gossip. People that think critically, people with critical thinking, they don't go there. If you go there and apply your critical thinking, they will block you or insult you. Today, the only place we worship is in Enter Biafra. It's only in Enter Biafra that you can go today and you'll be sure of the message you are getting from Master Simon Ekpa. Because he's a man that is focused, giving us the real thing, passing the real information, and focusing on the target with the freedom. What else are we fighting for? What else are you fighting for? The only focus on what the Biafran need is freedom. That is where we're focused. That is why every garden thing you see Man Samuel attaches to, he attaches to freedom. Whatever he says about the Zora Republic and their plans, he attaches to our freedom. Because that is what that's us. All this blackmail and propaganda doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And to show you the double standard and the criminality of these people who claim to be Biafrans. Today, you and I have seen the exposition made by Master Simon Ekpa. So many expositions have been made in the past. But yet, this man who is in the middle of taking the life of Biafra, who is causing the insecurity in Biafra land, is known today. But you don't see uproar. You didn't see people calling their embassy for his arrest. You never see people reprimanding him. You never see people putting bounty on his head. But the good man, they put bounty on his head. Just like Christ, who was pure and clean, and then he was crucified. They say, give us the thief, give us the two thieves, release the thief for us and take him. Even when they knew that he was right. Even they knew that his hands are clean because of their envy and jealousy. Because of the wickedness of their hearts, they gave him up. He went to the state that Caesar has to wash his own hand. Pilate has to wash his own hand off the whole matter. Pilate washed his hand. That is not his. The blood will not be on his head. It's none of his business. You people take your wish and go. And yet they went ahead to take his life. And when we read those stories in the Bible, when we hear about those stories, we say, oh, I think it was in those days. It cannot happen. You think it is a story that was told in those days. That is why some of them, they'll come and tell you that all those things are story. What is in the Bible are story. But they are still happening. Every single thing that you see in the Bible is still happening. In the Holy Book, it's still happening. And in the time will come, if we keep documents of what is happening in our time, a time will come when it will become a gospel also. All those documented items you see are people's life history. When you talk about the Holy Book, it is the life history of people, how they lived their life and what they did. Life history of people, that is what you see in the Holy Book. The good, the bad, and the ugly. To educate you, to make you make a right choice, to direct you and guide you when you're making your choice. But today, the same scenario is still playing out. If not for wickedness of heart, why would you be fighting for a man that you know that he's doing something genuine, something that you cannot do? And I bet you, none of them can do what Master Simon Ekpa is doing today. None of them can play the role Master Simon Ekpa is playing today. None of them can make the achievement that Master Simon Ekpa is making today. None of them can build the alliance Master Simon Ekpa is building today. They can't. But yet, they don't want to come down and follow the moving train. After all, it's going to benefit you. Doesn't matter who it comes through. Doesn't matter who leads us to freedom. What matters is our freedom. Who leads us into that freedom doesn't matter. Why is it that you cannot bend down your head? Because you, deep down inside you already know that even if they give you this struggle, even if assuming the whole Biafra say, lead, you have no direction. You have nothing to offer. You have nothing to offer except accepting bribe from politicians, using using the struggle to enrich yourself. That is what you always do. Causing chaos and problem. That is what you always do. You can't make any difference. Internationally and locally, you cannot. Because if you can, now you have the opportunity to make your voice heard in your own locality, but you can't do it. You can't do it. Mazen Nandekano, even come on to keep intact the legacy of Mazen Nandekano. Just keep that legacy intact, to protect that legacy and keep it intact. You couldn't do that. How much more? You see how bad it is. The legacy of our supreme leader Mazen Nandekano, you cannot keep that legacy intact. You can't do that. When you cannot keep his legacy, what else can you do? Sincerely speaking, tell me, what else can you do when you cannot be able to keep the legacy of the man who has laid a very good foundation? You couldn't be able to keep it. You destroyed it all. You destroyed everything on your pathway. The instruction he has given to guide and protect Biafran people, you violated it and exposed the life of people to danger. And you see, we are talking about 30 able men lost. And when we mention the number, you think is for Biafran to lose one soul, it means a lot. A soul, it means a lot. 30. A lot today in the hospital, injured in this very difficult time. So many missing. Already we have a lot of people in the prison that have not been left to go. A lot of people are languishing in the prison in that Republic. A lot are already in the hospital. Why are you increasing the anguish and suffering of the Biafran people? Even when you know you can't protect them, you have nothing to offer them, you have no strategy, you don't even have a roadmap, you don't have a direction. You don't have a direction. You just want to use them and dump them. Use them to create influence on yourself, to make the enemy believe that you have an influence. Meanwhile, you have no influence anywhere. And the gullible ones will come out and join them and begin to sing the same song. If you're a Biafran, learn to ask questions. Before you say a word, before you act, Learn to ask questions if you're a Biafra. That is why when I come online, I will love it if somebody can be able to click and come on board. It will be something of joy that somebody will come and click and come online and make his contribution or ask questions. If I don't have the answers to the question, people on the comment section can have the answer to the question. If I don't have the answer to the question, I can go to people who know better and come back to you and give you a reply. Ask questions. Don't just believe a word that you hear. Don't just believe lies, propaganda. Don't. That was what put those our brothers into problem, and 30 people lost their life. We have been shouting on different platforms. We have been speaking. We have been talking. And this is not the very first time they are bringing out fake people as ESN in that Abia state. They have done it before. They brought their dead men squad and paraded them just to convince people and make a statement. And people fell victim to that game. It is so sad. So sad, but because why they are even winning it, because most of us, most of the people, Biafrans, are not even on social media. They want that on social media, active on social media, are the people who are living abroad. Majority living abroad are the ones active on social media. Many people in Biafra are not active on social media. That is why I think they don't get most of these messages. And that is why Chukwuka will not take it lightly with somebody who is using them and pushing them into their debt. Anybody that is using the Biafran people, pushing them into their early grave, you will never go scot-free. You will never, ever go scot-free. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You and your generation will pay dearly for every life you mislead. Every life you have misled, you are going to pay dearly. Our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, has always been taking his time. That is why, even when we are calling our sit at home, when we call our sit at home, people will talk about enforcement. He never enforced any sit at home. We never enforce. We give the instructions. It's left for you to obey. We give the instruction. Tell you the implications of your coming out, and tell you the gains and lose of coming out. Tell you what you stand to gain when you continue to sit at home. A way to secure you and also make your voice heard. But after those explanations, the enemy will now begin to tell you, no, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. The same people that are telling you not to listen, ask them, what do they have for you? Nothing. What are they doing to make sure that our Supreme Mazen Nandekan is released? Nothing. What are they doing to protect Mazen Nandekan? Nothing. What are they doing to make sure that Biafra comes? Nothing. There's nothing on board. The only thing they have in their hand is once they feel that they seem like people are not paying attention, they will come out and protest. Home and abroad, that's what they're not against their protest in abroad. In abroad, you can protest for all I care. But as you heard from our spokesman, Simon Ekpa, we are not protesting. We are not protesting group. He made it clear that we are the defense armed group of the struggle. And when we want to speak, we speak loud. When we want to protest, we protest loud. We cannot begin to... The protests have been done for a very long time. And each time protest was done, the loss of life, mainly in Biafra land, it is loss of life. It is loss of life. So if you choose the path of protest, and this is what you want to do abroad, do it abroad. Don't bring it back to Nigeria. Don't bring it back to the zoo where you know that we are dealing with animals. Keep your protest. Let it be limited abroad. Do it over there. But the auto-political IPOB, as you know, we are not after your protest, and we are not stopping you. We are focused on the target. Just like Mazen Nandekan said, take out the head. Once you take off the head, every other part of it will become useless. And we are targeting that head to cut it off. Whatever is standing on the top, we want to take it away so that people can be free. So that every indigenous tribe can be free. That is the fight we have picked, and we are fighting it effectively and strongly without any distraction. No matter the distraction you bring from right, left, and center, we will always overcome it. We shall always overcome. Every Biafra must remain strong and effective. Don't be deceived. Don't be distracted. Today, the enemy we are up against, we know them. Today we know people who are fighting for Biafra and those who are not fighting for Biafra. And those people who told you that they didn't know why they joined the IPOB. They didn't know that IPOB was was like this before. All of a sudden, you decide now. Now you see that IPOB is no longer a freedom fighting group. You begin to demonize IPOB. You are a criminal. You need help yourself. You need help. You need help because you're not man enough or woman enough. If you're intelligent enough, you should have been able to make a proper inquiry before you join in the first place. And Biafrans, use your anger positively. Use your anger positively. When they provoke you, use that anger in a positive way. Use it to change something in your life. Use it to invent something. When you see them channel their anger on you, when they lie against you, push their propaganda, use it positively to turn things around. Let it provoke you to fight more. Let it provoke you to make changes. That is what anger is supposed to be doing to us. Not for you to sit back and complain and cry. Today you see the way everything we are turning, majority today, the hatred of Biafran today have been brought clearer for people to see. Because for a very long time, so many Biafrans have been pretending not to see that they are hated. So many are pretending, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. Many Igbo Biafrans, we are pretending. And let me tell you, if you think you can talk down on your own brother to be relevant, you are a mad person. You don't know what you're doing. If you think you can talk down on your brother, you can stand against your brother, you can preach against your brother, you can hate your brother for you to be acceptable, that is madness. You think this person that hates your brother will like you? Blood is thicker than water. And they know that. That same person that you think likes you and hates your brother knows that you and your brother is the same flesh and blood. And he knows that you and your brother share some attitude and character together. So if you think you're demonizing your brother, you hate your brother for someone to like you, that is a wrong thing to do. You're only hating yourself. You are only exposing yourself to danger. Because if you help that person to destroy your brother, eventually that person is going to destroy you. Definitely, definitely. Because the person will be thinking within his own self that if you cannot spare your own brother, of course you will not spare him. And if he has an opportunity to take you out, he will definitely take you out. That is one thing people fail to understand. So if you think you can come and play a one Nigerianist when you know that the entire Biafran land, that people are talking about Biafra, but because you want to be relevant, you want to be loved, you are talking about one Nigeria. Defending one Nigeria, even when you see obviously that there are things that are wrong, that you are hated, you are not wanted, they don't want to be part of it, but you pretend because you want to be relevant. You pretend because they tell you they love you. You pretend and say, oh, among the Igbo people, this is the only Igbo man I have seen who is so right. Oh, among the Efik people, this one is different, or he doesn't behave like other people. Oh, among the Dudua people, oh, this one is excellent, he doesn't behave like other people. Check yourself. When you begin to get such kind of applaud, check yourself and be careful with those people who are giving you those kind of accolades. Those people who want you to hate because you are hating your brother. The only time they will say right on is when they see you castigating your own tribe. That is when you see them, oh, you are right, you are right. Those kind of people who they only praise you when they see you castigating your own people, when they see you taking the life of your own brother, when they see you standing against your people, and they clap for you and say, oh, you are actually right. This is the only man that have spoken the truth. Be wary. Be wary of those people. Be very careful with those people. And once you begin to get some praises, watch yourself. Watch yourself. Once your enemy begin to raise praises on you, watch yourself. You're about to go down. You are about to go down. The earlier you remember all these things and put them at the back of your mind, the better for you. In this era that we're in, use everything they throw against you, turn it to positive. Every negativity they throw against you, turn it to positivity. That is what you're supposed to do. And that is the way I think about things that are happening today. When I see the attack against Biafrans, When I see the attack, they are launching against Biafra from all angles. They're calling off names. They leave the country and doing this, leave our country, go your place, go home. You are not wanted. You are not this. You are a slave. When I see that, I laugh. I say, yes, say it loud so that the deaf ones will hear it. Speak it loud so that those ones who didn't understand will understand. Shout it on top of the roof so that the world will hear it, that we are not just making it up. And today, when you see a Biafran come online and talk about what they are facing in that zone, it is only somebody who doesn't have conscience that will say, why are you complaining? This very past election have brought our matter to the whole world, and they can now see why we must leave the contraption called the zoo. But because of the wickedness of man, some of them will not speak. But I tell you, we are going to take our fate in our hand. That's exactly what the Biafrans are about to do today. To fight for that which is ours. We will not allow anybody to ride on us. We will not allow anybody to sit on us. We will not allow anybody to dictate for us what we do and what we don't do. We are freeborn, and we can never be slaves. The land where we find ourselves was given to us by Chukwuka himself. We didn't create ourselves into that land. He gave it to us. And it is our responsibility to defend that land and make it a better place. That is exactly what we are doing today. And we continue to do so until we secure the land for the owner of the land. Whatever they are throwing at us, whatever their propaganda and blackmails they are bringing, it's not going to move us. You as a Biafran begin to think what you're going to do for your nation, not what your nation can do for you now. What are you going to do to make Biafra a reality? That is the only hope we have. Biafra is the only hope we have. Fight for it because your life depends on it. Our life depends on it. When you see the languages that is coming out today from that country, from Nigeria, you'll be wondering, where have you been all this while? For those who are not paying attention. But as for those, of course, whatever I'm hearing today doesn't move me. It doesn't shake me. I can tell you I've known about most of the things they are doing today right from childhood. Most of us grew in that system where we knew that there are certain things you don't do. There are certain areas you don't go. There are certain things they will not allow you to go. There are certain things they will not allow you to aspire. Even when you aspire for this, they won't allow you to attend to it. We know it. So when they are now saying it today, we are not bothered because we know it has been there. And that is the chain we want to break. And the only way to break that chain is by disintegration. It is not by election. It is the election that will put us into this slavery that we are in. Election is what put us into this slavery they are talking about. The very first election that was conducted in that Nigeria after independence was rigged by Britain, and they used it to cage every other indigenous tribe. So how can you take that same thing that put you into it can't get you out. It can election cannot get you out. It is the election that took us into that very trouble that we are in. So don't expect the election will take you out of it. We have to end it all, and everybody go in separate ways and begin to build a said nation. That is the best way to go. And that is what the Biafran people are doing. And we will continue to pursue that cause until we get it by the special grace of Chukwuka. I appreciate every one of you who has paid attention to this broadcast. Thank you so much. Please, as you join this broadcast, please kindly share it if you are not shared. If you have not shared, share in your WhatsApp group. Share to any platform you belong. Anywhere you belong, share to family and friends so that they can be able to be aware of this, our new platform, before we can be able to recover the other platform. Share it so that people can be able to know where many of our people doesn't get our notification. They don't know where we are. So when you begin to share, people will now be able to catch up, and we'll continue to send out the message. Remember, we'll be continuing to preach this gospel until Biafra comes. I have chosen my part, and I will continue to do it. You also have to choose your part. What you have to do for Biafra to come. Continue to do it. Don't get distracted. Today, we know the person that is genuinely fighting for Biafra, Master Simon Ekpa, and we will continue to support him until Biafra comes. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are joining from Biafra land, I appreciate you. And I say, may Chukwuka be my God and protect you. If you are joining from America, from Asia, from Europe, from Australia, from Canada, from Russia, Whichever part of the world, I say, may Chukwu Okikabagara protect you. May Chukwu Okikabagara protect you, Dudua people, the Biafran people, the Middle Belters. May Chukwu Okikabagara save and protect every one of us. God and protect the media warriors. God and protect the Umuada, Honorable Azoka. May Chukwu Okikabagara protect you. May Chukwu Okikabagara protect that one. Spokesperson Master Samuel Epa. May Chukwu Okikabagara give him more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Protect him from all attacks, spiritual and physical. May Chukwu Okikabagara protect our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano, wherever he may be. Who commit Mazen Nandekano in the hand of Chukwu Okikabagara for divine grace, for divine protection, for divine victory, for divine revelation. May Chukwu Okikabagara continue to be with him, guide him, protect him, and secure him for us. Thank you so much for joining me. No weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our spokesperson, Mazen Samuel will prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazen Nandekano shall prosper. Thank you so much for joining me, and stay safe. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.